Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. So one thing we know about the flow of money, you want to watch and listen to what all the big fish are doing. The big time investors, the billionaires, the hedge funds with trillions of dollars in assets under management, because those people have teams of advisors that are constantly scouring the markets. They're doing all of the analytics and research, and they're advising these people and these companies on where they should place their bets for the years to come, where they think they can get the most returns, where they can see the trend and the money moving in the future. And so today's video is going to be a little different. It's going to be listening to other people talk, not myself, but other mainstream people. These things are being televised on things like CNBC, Wall Street Journal, and other things. And you're going to see how the narrative is shifting. It's no longer collectibles or trading cards are this, item for children or for nerds. These are becoming mainstream alternative assets, and they're being more respected. And as people my age, older, a little younger, start to get into positions of power in the world and these companies and these investment firms, it's going to continue to shift the focus from what the old generation valued to what the newer generation values. And the people that see this and are placing their bets there, it continues the growth of these kind of industries. So first up, I want to show this. This clip was taken 1 day ago. Some of the other clips are older. This is 1 day ago on CNBC. It was sent to me by a friend of the channel. Ready for this?
Let's talk about collectibles. We got a million people who could talk about the sports angles and aspects of this. You are launching an entire media company to cover collectibles, and it's something you've been doing your whole life, but it seems like it's exploding everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate alt asset. It really is. I mean, I'll tell you, I have 20% of my money in collectibles, and
CNBC, guys, talking to all the investors out there. This is a legitimate alt asset. This man has 20% of his money in collectibles. Now, if you go to any of these Pokemon YouTube channels and comment sections, everyone's like, oh, I wouldn't have more than 1% of my money in these. It's way too risky. All this could go to zero. Do you think people are putting millions, hundreds of millions, or billions of dollars to work in the collectible markets if this stuff was going to go to zero? Just think about that for a second. Next up, this is Wall Street Journal to their 5.13 million subscribers. All right, not that's mentioned their newspaper, everything else.
Earlier this year, the investment firm the Chernin Group, along with celebrities like Mark Cuban and Kevin Durant, invested $40 million in one of the industry's best-known auction houses, Golden Auctions. This July, Golden was acquired by the investment group Collectors Holdings.
It's an exciting time for everybody here at Golden. It's an exciting time for the industry as a whole.
Also in July, Blackstone acquired a majority stake in the grading company Certified Collectibles Group, which values CGC.
So you have Mark Cuban and others putting millions of dollars to work investing in these companies. You have Blackstone investing in collectible companies. Guys, you have some of the largest investors and institutions in the world starting to put money to work in this industry because they see the potential, they see the growth, they see the interest being in collectibles as an alternative asset. And this is what I'm talking about market shifting, right? When you talk to the older generations, they still see it as just a child's game or as, just a collection, right? But people moving forward, they're starting to see these as legitimate investments. And when things are seen as investments, it's no longer as scary or as wrong to have your money parked there because it's an investment. It's not just like some silly collectible. All right, let's keep moving on. This is Patrick Bet-David. If you don't know who he is, he's the owner of Valuetainment, an enormously successful individual. On the Joe Rogan podcast, we all know how many viewers Joe Rogan podcast gets. This was talked about on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah. How much? Who the fuck is collecting cards?
Dude, are you kidding me?
Do you know there's a UFC? I have a UFC card that's like worth money.
I have Max Holloway's rookie card.
How much is it worth?
I haven't looked, but the card game has exploded.
Card game.
Are you following it at all or no?
No, I don't have time for that shit.
Wait, you're not following at all what's going on with the card game?
No.
Okay, can I shock you with some numbers if that's okay with you?
Please.
Okay, what do you think is the value of the most expensive card in the world today?
So anyway, they go on to talk about the values of certain cards and as you can see, Joe's not into it, but even Jamie was into it. Obviously, Patrick Bet-Dave was into it. And you're starting to see like it become more widely accepted. It's almost like the more people you see on the street is getting to the point where more people collect than don't collect at this point. Like more people are feeling comfortable putting their money to work in collectibles than ever before. When you're having it pushed out to, his 6.5 million subscribers, this video has 600,000 views. This is just a short. The main podcast got more views. I mean, when this many people are being exposed to it, it just gets more people drawn in. Even if people haven't been super interested, when they hear stuff like this, they start researching like, oh, really? Is it? And then they start getting engulfed. They start finding channels like mine or other people's channels, whether it be in the sports cards, other TCGs, and you get engulfed into it. You get kind of engulfed into the social media world and you start getting hit with the stuff 24/7 and you see everyone else's collections and investments that you want to get in. And it's very engrossing. And that's why it has such a great opportunity to grow. Let's keep moving on though. Obviously everyone knows Gary Vee. He's super bullish, but I thought I'd throw a Gary Vee clip in there too, because hey, like him or not, Gary Vee has a lot of influence. He has a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, and just him continuously putting this out there, just, by the audience he has, it continues to pull more people into these kind of hobbies.
The 30-year-old dudes that were cool, did not collect cards in the 90s, and now a lot of them do. You have some of the people that are just hardcore flip for money. Money is their whole life. That went from cards to NFTs. They're doing real estate right now. Like, you have that crew, but it's crossed the chasm of like pop culture. And now we're in this really nice spot where there's still a fuckload of people interested, more and more every day. And that's a big deal. Collecting, I believe in 15 to 20 years, it is a cultural genre. That you will go out to dinner to meet somebody at a business meeting. And I believe people are going to ask people, hey, what are you collecting? How's your collection going? Between art and watches and sneakers and handbags, trading cards. Beanie Babies didn't work out, but plush toys are forever. The teddy bear, Raggedy Ann, digital collectibles will be here for the rest of our lives.
So again, like him or not, Gary Vee has been right about a lot of things, especially in the long term of his predictions about a lot of things in culture. It just is what it is. And he sees the same things that I do, that other people do. We're going through a cultural shift. And that's why it's so hard for a lot of people to accept it, is they want to hold on. And change is hard, right? People want to hold on to the old ways. They want to hold on to what was valuable, or where people used to put their money to work, where people used to have, trusted places to invest your money. And those things are shifting. We're having a cultural shift with people, my age, a little younger, a little older, of where they feel comfortable parking their money. And more people daily are feeling comfortable in trading cards, in collectibles, and other alternative assets. This is the last one I wanted to show. This is from Bloomberg, guys. Bloomberg. I mean, guys, these are legitimate investment publications. Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Bloomberg. So let me just listen to some of this.
So I think when I was younger, collected cards. I would buy packs, and I had binders filled with different baseball and basketball cards. And I had not thought of these cards in 15 or 20 years. I assumed as the internet came along and people got interested in other things, that these had fallen out of favor, much like Beanie Babies and Pokemon and all sorts of interests of youth.
All through the colorful pages of Zoo Books.
But then I started digging around and I saw that the market, not just for trading cards, but all those things had begun to explode.
5 grown men were fighting over trading cards outside the Brookfield Target.
Really, over the last year and a half, 2 years, the value of this stuff has been skyrocketing.
When players...
And, it's just more like that. It's more of just like talking about how the market's going. It's from a couple of years ago. But again, this is on Bloomberg, guys. I mean, 3.82 million followers they have. And all this is to show is that this isn't like some insulated little Pokemon community or little, trading card, sports card collectible community thing on YouTube where, it's just a bunch of us like nerds talking about it. No. This is becoming mainstream. This is drawing in billionaires investing money. This is drawing in hedge funds with trillions of dollars in management to start put their money to work in this collectible space, right? And everyone always wants to talk about, Alex, don't compare 401ks and index funds and S&Ps and real estate to Pokemon. You can't do that. Well, guess what? You know who's doing that? The billionaires, the hedge funds. They are considering putting money to work in this industry instead of worrying about putting more money in the stock market or more money into real estate portfolios or elsewhere, right? They're choosing to put their investors' money to work in the collectible space. Now, why would one choose to do that? Why would a company with tons of advisors advising them on the best place to put their finances, why would they be putting that much money to work in just a silly kids game or silly trading cards, collectible space, silly collectibles. Why would they do that? Why would CNBC and Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg and all these publications be talking about alternative assets being a very legitimate investment? It's because people are continuing to see the flow of money into these things as they become more and more trusted, and as the market continues to grow and the values continue to hold and grow as time goes on, right? It's not just some big pump and dump that didn't do anything. If that would have happened, you probably wouldn't hear many people talking about it anymore. But like I said, that one interview, that first one I showed, is as soon as 1 day ago. 1 day ago, we're talking about this being a legitimate alternate asset. That man, someone they felt comfortable enough to bring on CNBC Live, saying he has 20% of his money in there. I mean, if that doesn't at least get people to start looking into it more deeply, I mean, I don't know too much else that won't. And so whenever you're navigating this whole YouTube space, you're watching me, you're watching other people. Look, we're all small fish in the long run, right? But just understand, people with large bankrolls, companies with trillions of dollars, they do research, right? They make very calculated moves, right? They're not just closet investors, as a lot of people want to say, or everyone's trying to be the next Rudy or whatever. That's not what they're doing, right? They're 10 times what Rudy is. Okay, they're a million times what Rudy is. They're not worried what Rudy's doing, right? They see where the culture's moving and where that money is going to be moving in the future, most likely, and they want a piece of it. And so, just some food for thought. You know, as you're hearing a lot of the negative takes on other YouTube channels throughout the industry, this just gives you another thought or another perspective other than mine that's out there being talked about, guys. So hope it helps. Happy collecting, happy investing. My name's Alex, and this is Nostalgianomics. I'll be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.